She was the first to arrive, and without knowing it, the first to be expected to understand everything. Before she fully learned how to be a child, she was taught how to be responsible. Before she learned how to rest, she learned how to carry. This is a message for firstborn daughters, not the loud ones, not the celebrated ones, but the quiet pillars, the dependable ones, the ones who grew strong too early. Firstborn daughters often grow up inside an invisible role. They are not told directly, but they feel it. They are expected to lead without instruction, to protect without power, to manage emotions that are not theirs to manage. They become the emotional anchor of the family, the one who notices everything, anticipates problems, and steps in before things fall apart. Responsibility becomes part of their identity, and slowly, quietly, childhood slips away. What many people don't realize is that firstborn daughters are praised for strength instead of being cared for. You're mature for your age. You can handle it. You're the example. But maturity that comes too early is often a response to pressure, not growth. When a child is rewarded for being strong, she learns that vulnerability is unsafe. And so she adapts. She becomes capable, reliable, emotionally controlled. But inside, something begins to harden, not because she wants to, but because she must. Many firstborn daughters are quietly promoted to second parent. They watch younger siblings. They intervene during conflict. They absorb stress meant for adults. They learn how to calm others before they learn how to calm themselves. Over time, they stop asking for help. They stop expecting support. They become the solution. And later, as adults, they wonder why they feel tired all the time, even when nothing appears wrong. One of the deepest wounds firstborn daughters carry is emotional invisibility. They are needed, but rarely asked how they feel. They are trusted, but rarely protected. They learn to minimize their pain because someone else always needs more. Over time, this creates a pattern. They show up for everyone, but feel uncomfortable when someone shows up for them. They give advice easily, but struggle to receive comfort. They're strong on the outside and quietly exhausted on the inside. As adults, many firstborn daughters struggle with chronic guilt when resting, over-responsibility in relationships, difficulty saying no, emotional burnout, people-pleasing, and feeling valuable only when useful. They often attract situations where they are needed more than they are loved. And they call it loyalty, they call it love, they call it duty. But beneath it is a pattern learned early. My worth is tied to how much I carry. Sometimes the weight turns into anger. Not loud anger, not destructive anger, but quiet resentment, emotional withdrawal, sudden exhaustion. And they don't understand it. But this anger is not cruelty. It is unmet need. It is the voice of a child who learned to survive instead of being nurtured. Healing begins when firstborn daughters realize something important. They were never meant to carry everything. They were never meant to replace parents. They were never meant to manage adult emotions. They were never meant to sacrifice their inner world. Healing does not mean rejecting family. It means rejecting the belief that self-abandonment is love. It means learning that rest is not weakness, boundaries are not betrayal, and choosing yourself is not selfish. Letting go of the firstborn role is uncomfortable. It means allowing others to feel discomfort. It means stepping back instead of stepping in. It means trusting that everything will not collapse without you. For many firstborn daughters, this feels terrifying, because for so long their identity was built on being needed.
But healing requires space, and space allows identity to expand. You are more than the role you played. True strength is not endurance. True strength is honesty. It is knowing when to rest, when to ask for help, when to stop carrying what is not yours. Strength is not always holding on. Sometimes strength is putting things down. And firstborn daughters deserve to experience a life that is soft, balanced, and theirs. To every firstborn daughter watching this, you were brave. You were capable. You did your best with what you were given. But now you are allowed to live differently. You are allowed to feel, to pause, to choose yourself. Your value was never in what you carried. Your value has always been in who you are. And now, you don't have to be the strong one anymore.